let's go a little bit more towards the topic of multinational companies. There are several globally successful multinational companies from emerging markets. Those are challenging companies from advanced economies. Could you give us some examples on those?
Yes, in fact, there are many so-called emerging giants, so multinational companies which are headquartered in emerging markets and are and have become globally active, and of course they are challenging the already established multinational corporations from advanced economies. There are many such companies in China, in India. Let me think of Tata, for example, Ranbaxy in pharmaceuticals, not only in traditional manufacturing but also in IT, in services sector, in automotive industry. Let me mention that Tata, for example, acquired Jaguar and Land Rover in Britain, etc., etc. If we take a closer look to Brazil, for example, which is also one of among the 4 BRIC countries, we see that, for example, companies are very high on this challenger list. For example, Embraer is a number 3 producer in the entire world of commercial aircrafts. Vale is the second largest mining company in the world. For example, Natura is one of the most interesting and competitive cosmetic producers in the world. And exactly the story of Natura is depicting or demonstrated the fast and fundamental transformation of multinational companies from emerging economies.
Mm-hmm. But let's stick to your example, Natura. What is the competitive position of Natura versus the well-known multinationals from advanced economies in the cosmetics sector?
Well, let me give you some very short facts on Natura. The company started in the 60s as a store with 4 employees selling shampoos and moisturizing creams, etc. in Sao Paulo. And the development started in the mid-70s when they started with the salesmen working door to door and were paid on commission. So it was a unique marketing concept, and that pushed the company very high on the list. So in the mid-90s they already had almost $600 million of turnover with 160,000 sales personnel. Actually, when Natura started to operate massively on the Brazilian market, for example, Procter & Gamble, which is a well-known, established company from advanced countries, started to compete on Brazilian market with a low-cost product, simple products. The development of Natura was very different. They invested, as soon as Procter & Gamble entered Brazilian market, they invested heavily into research and development. And they profiled themselves as a very environmental friendly and also a company with an ample basically product line consisting of more than 200 products.
Mm-hmm. And does Natura still follow the strategy of competing with its counterparts from advanced economies via prices and cost, or do they follow a different strategy at all?
They follow different strategy. They follow a strategy that could be called differentiation, according to Michael Porter. It simply means that Natura built into its own strategy the characteristics of Brazilian market. There is a huge biodiversity in the rainforest in Brazil, and they are building their competitive advantage on basically on this biodiversity with a number of ingredients and different products which cannot be achieved by other companies coming from countries with no such biodiversity. Secondly, they already started during the 80s the so-called refilling their products all products match the international security standards, are very organic, and they pay much attention to greenhouse gases emissions. So their competitive matrix is in fact very, very advanced and very modern.